Okay, on to the RFK Jr. story, perhaps one of the most bizarre incidents yet that we've covered here on the show. I say this with no, I guess, judgment electorally or whatever, only to say that the circumstances are genuinely shocking. So all of it began when RFK Jr. released a video talking about how he left a dead bear cub in Central Park. The photo has been released of the bear, and RFK Jr. Let's put this up here on the screen. Came out yesterday in The New Yorker with a profile. Here we see RFK Jr. He's roughly like 60 years old now at this time, in the back of his trunk with a bear, clearly who's been wounded. We'll get to that. The bear was
fly down.
Oh, I think the bear, what was it? Hit by a car. Oh, is this fly down? I didn't see that. That's funny. Who amongst us?
I mean, it could happen to anybody.
It's happened. It happens. RFK's got his hand in the bear's mouth. This reminiscent of the previous photo that was released of him. Remember, though, that I did ask about him. What was it? The Daily Beast or somebody claimed it was a dog. He told me it was goat. So anyway, this time he's not disputing that it was a bear. Let's take a listen to his version of events of how he encountered this bear and where he ended up dumping this bear. Let's take a listen.
A woman in a van in front of me hit a bear and killed it, a young bear. So I pulled over and I picked up the bear and put him in the back of my van because I was going to skin the bear, and it was very good condition, and I was going to put the meat in my refrigerator. And you can do that in New York State. You can get a bear tag for a roadkill bear. Instead of going back to my home in Westchester, I had to go right to the city because there was a dinner at Peter Luger's Steakhouse. And at the end of the dinner, it went late, and I realized I couldn't go home. I had to go to the airport. And the bear was in my car, and I didn't want to leave the bear in the car because that would have been bad. People were drinking with me who thought this was a good idea. And I said, I had an old bike in my car that somebody had asked me to get rid of it. I said, let's go put the bear in Central Park and we'll make it look like he got hit by a bike. It'll be funny for people. So everybody thought that's a great idea. So we went and did that, and we thought it would be amusing for whoever found it or something. You know, it's going to be a bad story. Right?
So that was him with Roseanne Barr, and what? To summarize, the bear was hit. He saw the bear. He then wanted to skin the bear and eat the bear, so he put it in his trunk. Then he was out falconing. They were running late.
I love that part.
So, yeah, I know. He drove to Manhattan with the bear in his trunk. He had dinner. Then he had to catch a flight.
Perfect.
So he had to get rid of the bear out of his car, this bloody dead bear. So he decided to put it in Central Park and stayed. That's where I don't understand the staging. Why don't you just dump the bear? Why do you have to make it look like there was a, what did he say, a bike accident?
So he said, so this is around the time, 2014, just as they're putting all the bike lanes in New York City.
Okay.
And if you remember from this time, a lot of bikers were getting killed by garbage trucks and cars that weren't used to the bike lanes. And so there were these weekly or daily like tragedies occurring. And RFK Jr.'s idea was this would humorously slot into these multiple tragedies by making it look like instead of a car or truck killing a biker, that a biker had killed and run over a bear.
Right. Okay. So how would that even happen? That's
you have to be pretty. I don't know how many bottles of wine they had at Peter Luger, but it was a lot.
Hey, he's sober. But listen, I mean, the circumstances of this.
Everybody else was drinking it, but apparently, he says he was the one that had the idea. This sounds.
He said he had the idea. Okay, so he had the idea.
This is according to him.
Now, here's the funniest part. Look at the way that this set off a firestorm in New York at the time after the bear was discovered. Take a listen to the local news.
Bear cub is discovered dead in, of all places, Central Park, an apparent case of animal cruelty. CBS 2's Matt Kozar has more on the bear mystery.
In a popular section of Central Park, an unusual crime scene.
We were about over here.
Florence Slatkin says she was walking her dog this morning when she saw something furry underneath the bushes. Police say the 3-foot-long black bear cub had stab and slash wounds and appears to have been dumped there. Adding to the mystery, Slatkin says the baby bear was lying on top of this bicycle, which police confiscated as evidence.
The bicycle was under the bushes. Part of the bicycle was sticking out, and that's what we saw. Then when we looked closer, we could see something on the back wheel, just laying on the back wheel.
It's horrible. It's very bizarre.
To think that somebody with criminal intents would do such a thing right here in our backyard is disturbing.
New York bikers are outraged. Now, to add even more craziness to the stories, put this up here, is the person who wrote the bear story in the New York Times was JFK's granddaughter, Tatiana Schlossberg, his close relative. She wrote the headline, "Bear found in Central Park was killed by a car," officials say. So this set off an absolute firestorm 10 years ago. Nobody knew who dumped the bear, how the whole bear thing came to happen. Look, I don't really have anything electoral or anything to say. This is just the most insane thing. And as I previously have said, the craziest thing to me is that I believe every word of his explanation. And that's why it's so funny to me, is that every word, I'm like, I would never do that, but I see how you got there. And
Yes.
that's how the chain of events unfolds as even crazier than it initially sounded.
The one thing I think we can add to this too is that it paints a portrait of RFK Jr.'s life at the time.
Okay.
So here's something. So that New York Times report that we put up,
October 14th,
October
2014.
7th. It was October 7th,
sorry.
2014.
Oh, wow, October 7th.
Which interesting coincidence.
Yeah.
But so I just looked that up because I'm curious about RFK Jr.'s life.
Okay.
That's a Tuesday,
Whoa.
which means
He was falconing on a Tuesday.
it came out on a Tuesday, which means the day he described was a Monday.
It was a Monday. What a Monday.
What a Monday for this dilettante of an environmental lawyer who was like, you know what I'm going to do today? I'm going to drive up to the Hudson Valley. I'm going to falcon all day. Oh, I hit a bear. Oh, but then I've got a dinner, just a random dinner at Peter Luger's Steakhouse on a Monday evening. And then we're going to get wasted. I won't be wasted because I'm sober.
Right.
And then we're going to go dump this on. Not that any of this is okay on a Saturday, but this is Saturday behavior. This is not Monday behavior. So if this is a Monday for RFK Jr., my goodness.
If I was the scion to the Kennedy fortune,
exactly. That's what he is. That's what I'd be doing on a Monday.
I would also be doing that on a Monday.
Yes. It shows he is who you think he is.
Yeah.
And
he's falconing, he's hanging out with Peter Louis, he's got a flight to catch, and he's dropping off this bear. My only thing is with bear is, he's a health nut. I mean, as I understand, bears are like gross animals. Like, I don't mean that in a disparaging way. I'm saying like they eat like trash,
garbage,
rotten garbage. They eat rotten meat.
So do catfish are gross.
Yeah, but don't you have to cook the shit out of it? Anyway, so I can't really see how it would be all that appetizing, because he was like, it was a beautiful bear. It's
organic.
And all that. I don't look at that and be like, oh, what a beautiful.
Well, he said it was a baby bear, so maybe
he was
foie gras
less riddled with trichinosis. But I'm not eating bear. That literal roadkill. It's actual roadkill.
That's the difference between Larry David is never eating roadkill, but otherwise this is like dark Larry David behavior. Yeah, this is the whole thing and winding up on the news, and the fact that he's married to Cheryl Hines is. It's just, what kind of world are we blessed to live in?
Oh, yeah. It's a little bit too perfect. Hey, if you like that video, hit the like button or leave a comment below. It really helps get the show to more people.
And if you'd like to get the full show ad-free and in your inbox every morning, you can sign up at breakingpoints.com.
That's right. Get the full show, help support the future of independent media at breakingpoints.com.